Roki Sasaki had a rough outing in his last game, and Dodgers manager Dave Roberts has finally weighed in on the situation. The highly anticipated pitching sensation has faced massive expectations, but his latest performance raised concerns. Was it just a bad game, or is there a bigger adjustment needed? Roberts didn't hold back in his reaction, addressing Sasaki's struggles and what the team plans to do moving forward. Will the Dodgers tweak their approach, or is this just part of the learning curve? With fans eager to see Sasaki dominate, his development is now under the spotlight. Let's break down Roberts' response and what it means for the Dodgers going forward. Yo, what's up, Dodgers fans? Welcome back to the channel, and oh man, we have a big one today. This is something everybody's talking about right now, and we gotta break it all down. If you've been keeping up with the Dodgers, you already know all eyes have been on Roki Sasaki. This dude came in with insane hype, a young phenom from Japan, electric stuff, the kind of pitcher that gets fans out of their seats. But last game? Phew, it was rough. And not just for him. Dave Roberts had something to say about it, and you know we gotta talk about that. So stick around because we're diving into all of it, what went wrong, what Roberts thinks about it, and most importantly, what this means for the Dodgers moving forward. Before we jump in, if you love Dodgers news, rumors, game breakdowns, and everything in between, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any updates. Alright, let's get into it. So, let's talk about what happened. Roki Sasaki took the mound in his latest outing, and to put it lightly, it was not the performance Dodgers fans were hoping for. The control wasn't there, the dominance we saw glimpses of earlier just wasn't showing up, and honestly, it looked like he was struggling to find any kind of rhythm. He gave up multiple runs, couldn't put guys away when he needed to, and at times, it felt like the game was just moving too fast for him. Now, let's be clear, every pitcher has bad outings. Even the best of the best have off nights. But when you're a highly touted international star making the jump to MLB, the microscope is on you in a different way. The expectations are higher. And when you struggle, people start asking questions. One of the biggest concerns? His command. This guy has one of the nastiest fastballs in the game. We're talking triple digits with movement, and when he pairs that with his splitter, hitters don't stand a chance, at least when it's working. But last game, that command just wasn't there. He was missing spots, falling behind in counts, and you could tell that he was getting frustrated on the mound. When you're playing at this level, missing by just a little bit can be the difference between an easy out and a big hit. And we saw that happen multiple times in his last start. Now, let's talk about Dave Roberts. You know the Dodgers manager wasn't going to stay silent about this. After the game, reporters asked him about Roki's struggles, and while he didn't throw him under the bus, he definitely made some interesting comments. Roberts acknowledged that Sasaki is still adjusting to the MLB game, which is expected. Coming from Japan, there are differences in the baseballs, the mounds, the strike zones, even the way games are paced. But Roberts also hinted that it's more than just adjustments, it's also mental. He mentioned that Sasaki might be pressing a little too much, trying too hard to be perfect instead of trusting his stuff. And honestly, that makes sense. Think about it, this guy came in with sky-high expectations. People were already calling him the next big thing, comparing him to Shohei Ohtani, Yu Darvish, you name it. When you have that level of hype, every single pitch gets analyzed under a microscope. So, if he goes out there and has a rough start, it's easy to see how that pressure can start to build. Roberts also pointed out that the team still believes in him, which is important. He didn't sound panicked. He didn't sound like he was losing confidence in Roki. But he did make it clear that there's work to be done. So, where does this leave Sasaki and the Dodgers? Well, first of all, it's way too early to hit the panic button. This is part of the process. A young pitcher coming to the MLB from another league isn't just going to dominate from day one. There's always a learning curve. Even some of the best pitchers in the game took time to figure things out when they first arrived. And let's not forget, he's shown flashes of brilliance. This isn't a case where he just doesn't belong at this level. The talent is obvious. The stuff is nasty. It's just about consistency. That being said, the Dodgers do have some decisions to make. Do they keep running him out there every fifth day, letting him take his lumps and learn on the fly? Or do they maybe consider skipping a start, giving him extra bullpen work, maybe even tweaking some mechanics? That's something the coaching staff will have to figure out. But one thing's for sure, this is a big moment for Sasaki. How he responds to this adversity will tell us a lot about the kind of pitcher he's going to be. And let's not forget about the fan reaction. Dodgers fans are passionate. They love their team, and they love their players. But they also expect results. Some fans are already worried, saying maybe he wasn't ready for the jump to the MLB yet. Others are staying patient, reminding everyone that it's still early. And then there are the comparisons, people looking at other pitchers who made the move from Japan to MLB, trying to figure out if Sasaki's struggles are normal or a red flag. One thing that's interesting? If you look at guys like Yu Darvish or Masahiro Tanaka, they also had their ups and downs early on. Even Shohei Ohtani had moments where he had to adjust. So, it's not like this is completely unheard of. But that doesn't mean there aren't concerns. The biggest question moving forward is how quickly Sasaki can make the necessary adjustments. Because here's the thing, the Dodgers aren't just a team in rebuilding mode. They're trying to win. Right now, they're competing for a championship. So, if Sasaki continues to struggle, the front office will have to figure out if they can afford to keep him in the rotation, or if they need to make a move. But let's pump the brakes before we get too far ahead of ourselves. This was one rough outing. It happens. The key now is what comes next. If he bounces back strong in his next start, all of this will just be a small bump in the road. If he struggles again, then we might start seeing some real questions about what the Dodgers need to do. At the end of the day, Sasaki is still an incredibly talented pitcher with a ton of upside. One bad start doesn't change that. But it does remind us that nothing is guaranteed, and the transition to MLB is no joke. The Dodgers are going to keep working with him, making adjustments, and trying to get him back on track. And if there's one thing we know about this team, it's that they don't give up on talent easily. That's gonna do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any future updates. We've got a long season ahead, and there's going to be a lot more to talk about, so stay locked in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.